So we're joined now in Manchester at the Conservative Party conference by James Cleverly, the Conservative Member of Parliament for Braintree. James, thank you very much for joining us.
Yeah, happy to.
So in a recent poll by Lord Ashcroft, the percentage of people who believe Conservatives want to help ordinary people get on in life is 35 percentage points lower than the same question for Labour. Does it worry you that Conservatives are perceived to be so out of touch?
Yeah, this goes to the heart of what I think is the most important question that's going to be coming out of Conservative Party conference this year, is how have we managed as a party that is built on the principle of helping people lift themselves up economically, socially, the party of entrepreneurs, the party of positivity. How have we allowed ourselves to be painted into such a negative space? I don't have all the answers, but at least now we're asking the questions, and that will be what we need to do to kind of regain the mantle of the party that is on the side of people.
And obviously you're quite a big advocate of free market capitalism. Would you say we need to move more towards that or change the way we do things?
Well, we haven't been making the argument, the self-evident argument, that free markets enable people to lift themselves, to trade their way out of poverty. And it's been seen across the globe throughout history that it's the most effective way of lifting people out of poverty. We've failed, I think, to effectively get that message across. We have got a fight now. We've got a real fight on our hands. So I'm up for it. I'm really enthusiastic about the tone that we've had in the party conference so far, and I'm looking forward to trying to win over young people with that message all over again.
And obviously one of the biggest issues that faces young people at the moment is housing and getting on the housing ladder and being able to afford quite excessive rent sometimes. You've mentioned in the past maybe free market principles are the best way to go about this in the long term, but you can't implement that immediately.
Well, I don't agree that we can't implement free market principles straight away, because the point I was making on the panel is that we have created a regulatory system with regard to house buildings which has really slowed down the building of new homes. And we do need a step change in the amount of house building. The fact that prices are escalating so much quicker than the wage inflation means that there's a generation of people who are increasingly struggling to become homeowners. We have got to address that, and we've got to address it through free market principles, which is to allow the market, to allow private home builders to build more homes. That is the correct market response to the problem.
And just quickly on tuition fees, there have been quite a few announcements around that from May at conference. Do you think that freezing tuition fees at $9,250 and also raising the repayment threshold to $25,000 is enough to persuade young people to really have a vote of confidence in the Conservatives?
I don't think those things on their own will do it. I think they're both a step in the right direction. We do need to recognise that a lot of young people are quite intimidated by the financial implications of going to university. I also think we need to look seriously about alternatives, really credible alternatives to university education, so people have got genuine choice about getting an appropriate education to help them get on in life. And ultimately, one of the things that I've always felt is that if we can increase the supply of really good quality education, both in the university sector and other sectors as well, it allows people to make a genuine judgment call about whether the financial implications are right for them. And for many, many students, it is still absolutely excellent value for money. Getting a really good quality university education is money well spent, and they shouldn't be put off by some of the bad headlines that they've been hearing. But we do need to give people a credible set of alternatives if they decide that's not the right thing for them.
But do you think that can really be achieved led by the government?
Yeah, it has to be. But as I say, the policies that we announced earlier on over the weekend, it's part of the solution. It's not all of the solution all at once. We'll still be working on that over the next few years.
James, thank you very much for joining us.
Hi, I'm James Cleverly, Conservative MP for Braintree in the lovely county of Essex, and you're listening to Raw.